Oh, are we online now? Are we live? I don't see it on my other monitor yet. Does anybody see the chat starting here? Oh. And do you guys see the live feed? Because I don't. Okay, Brandon. I'll reload my page and see if it comes up. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to turn that down. Okay, we're live. Welcome to the Liberty Basic 4.5.0 release chat. Technically, we haven't actually released yet, but we will very soon. We have some release candidates out. We've got 2 of them. And there might be a third. I haven't decided yet. If we don't have a third candidate, then this will be the release. So this has been a long time coming. I'm sure that a lot of people are excited about that. I know I am. And so let's see. We have a chime in here. Who do we have here? If people could respond in that by saying hello in the chat area, then I'd have a sense of how many people are here. Be terrific. So I know we have Brandon and Michael, and I'm there, of course. But it says there's 5 people watching, so at least a couple more people. Anyway, so we have a new release with a few new example programs and some new features and some bug fixes. And so we're very excited that we can move forward with the next project, which is going to be getting the Pro version out, which shouldn't take me too long because most of the code between that's changed. The code that's changed between the regular and the Pro version is not related to the tools that come with the Pro version. So pretty much all of the new features the code will just move right in. Shouldn't have to change hardly a thing. So I'm expecting within a couple of weeks we'll have the Pro version updated to 4.5.0, and then we will. I'll be working on Run Basic briefly before I come back to Liberty Basic version 5, and may even have an updated version of Just Basic in the wings, just as a little tease there. Let's see. All right, now we've got 6 people. Let's see how many we get. I think we had about 20 people last time that we did this. Maybe a little more, maybe 25. You guys, is your chatting working here? Because it's very quiet on my end all of a sudden. I have nobody saying anything. No answer. Okay, so one of the things that I threw in there I thought was kind of cool was I grabbed the tiny basic example from the Run Basic site and I added that into the distribution for Liberty Basic 4. That people would find that enjoyable, fun to play with. And what this is essentially is way back when, in the 1970s, there was someone wrote a version of BASIC for very small personal computers, such as the Altair, and very small memory footprint. And BASIC, and most people don't know that this very small version of the BASIC interpreter was for BASIC on the original Radio Shack, which was called Level 1 BASIC, which had 3 error messages, I think, was one equivalent to a error. One was how, when you asked it to do something, how, and then the other one was it said sorry. Memory, it said sorry. Like, out of memory would require more memory. Well, somehow, how's the video feed there? Because it looks like it's not working very well when I'm in my web browser. Oh. All right, well, hopefully the quality, the ultimate quality of this isn't going to be too bad. Hopefully just the streaming is possible. Yeah, all right, so let me see. Got 7 people watching now. And let's see. Okay, Dan's, hi Dan. Dan's seeing chat. It's glitchy. The computer I'm using, because last time I used a Macintosh laptop, a MacBook, to do the video, but I gave that laptop away to my daughter. And it looks okay on the Asus. Looks a lot better on the cheap Asus than it looks on YouTube. So I'm guessing the problem is. Let's see. Anyway, so I'm wondering if we can get some feedback from people about their experimentation with the 5 going. Any particular things you'd like to mention? Reasons why you think it's not ready for release, or any of the above? Oops. Back on the release candidate. Goodness. Why? Etc. Okay, Michael. Down on the video. Do that so that it would be smoother. I don't know. I think YouTube is already quality on the receiving end. Well, what can I do? Coming very slowly. You guys typing comments, or is there something? Duck says, release it. Further bug fixes can be implemented in a 4.5.1. I think I'm itching I'm itching to release this thing right now. Today, declared a release, unless somebody can convince me otherwise, even though the uh, problems related to the manifest a very long time. Very meaning about this to me. I just want to know keep tinkering with it right now, or whether we should a 4.51 press the button. Oh, really? Oh gosh. Not even hear everything I say on this feed. So what should we do about this? Oh, the quality down or fry. Maybe this video would end and try again later. What do people think? People can't hear what I'm saying, then this is a problem. There's no point in having a live feed if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, so I wrote, is this live feed a button? Should try again tonight? Maybe there will be less trouble. So if there's no, I can't borrow my daughter's laptop because she doesn't live in my house. I was trying to use my iPhone as a camera and streaming device, but I just couldn't figure out if it was even possible. I'm so amazed that there just doesn't seem to be an easy way to use that, because it is a nice camera, but I guess not. No, I can't try from another computer. I don't have another computer with a webcam, so. Okay. Hopefully, wait. We'll see. We'll see in a moment if the computer decides on my phone. I had to turn it back on. Oh, wait, that looks pretty lousy, doesn't it? But at least the video stream is back on. Can you hear what I'm saying? It doesn't look choppy on the laptop. It's nice. It's pretty smooth. Don't move so much. Why not? Oh, it slows down when I move. Of course it does, because it needs to send more data. Okay, how's it going? Does it work now? That's better? Uh-oh. Okay. You know, you'd be surprised anything this will be so easy to do. Hold on a second, let me check something. Yeah, I'm gonna need to come up with some better. I'm gonna need to come up with some better way to do this the next time. I'm gonna get comfortable there. I hope that we can figure out a way to make my phone do this, because I think it would work really well. Okay. Yes, the live feed is on my Mac Mini. Okay. So, all right, let's try to get back on topic here. Glitches. So, I think I was explaining the tiny basic and the history of all that, but it was contributed by and it's copylefted, which means you can use it everywhere freely, and is the audio working now? Can you hear every word I say? Let me see. What do you think? Is it better? Okay, well, it's still choppy. I'll sit behind. All right. Oh, let's try adjusting the video quality first. See if we can. Okay, let's try that. That might be all right. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm hoping that this is going to resolve the problem so that I don't need to disable video altogether. Yes, so anyway, the idea here is that, okay, here's this, and it's a real interpreter, just like you would, like you would have on a home computer, and so you can actually type expressions straight in, and it'll evaluate them right away, which is neat. And you can even run the program, and then you can run some code, and you can even print variables in the program and that sort of thing. It's like an old basic interpreter. So this is better. This is not choppy. The audio is good now. And on top of that, Tiny Basic is a great platform for people to experiment with things. I mean, this is a wide open little interpreter, and you can add anything you want to it. You can add new commands, you can add graphics, you can add sound, you could, if you're really ambitious, you could use this to drive a 3D gaming or rendering engine or something. Use OpenGL. Like, remember, there was this couple of demos, a flight simulator and a tank game that somebody contributed at one point that uses OpenGL and Liberty Basic. Just imagine you take that code and you use the Tiny Basic interpreter to make it do something cool with that. It would be fun. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's in there, and then there's the new features. There's a handful of new features. There's new features in the editor, like click navigation and the variable highlighting. So you double click on a variable, and it shows you the other variables in there that are the same variable with yellow highlighting, so it's easy to see them. And there's some new string functions, which are kind of cool. And so I'm hoping that people will find these useful and helpful. And then there's the new raising the memory limit, because for a long time, because of the way that the Smalltalk VM's garbage collector is written, the performance of the garbage collector was optimized by my keeping the memory usage low. But now this has been a long time, and the computers are much faster and they have much more memory, and so it made sense to me to raise the limit. It was 70 megabytes, which anyone who used to write basic code would think, oh, that's pretty big. But I think today people want a lot more, so I raised it to 1 gigabyte, which is 14 times more memory. So I'm hoping that people will really be able to take advantage of that. Yes, Brandon says, Chung was the tank and flight simulator guy. Yes. Do we still see him occasionally? Does he pop his head in? Or I guess it would be good maybe to get permission from him to use some of that stuff in a distribution. That would be cool, so it doesn't fade away into obscurity. And so now, yeah, but I agree. We really needed to raise that memory limit. Now, I would have raised it even more, except that the way that the Smalltalk VM works is that when you start it up, it tries to allocate a big chunk of memory, depending on how much, on where you set the limit. And so then some people with less memory were suddenly unable to start Liberty Basic. and it's a little tricky to figure out, so I didn't want to raise it too much because some people were going to run into a problem, and I didn't want that to happen. Okay. I think that today we're going to a really basic version 4.5.0 officially. That means we're going to announce it on the boards. We're going to announce it on the website. We're going to I'm going to post about it around on the internet so that people. I'm going to send an email out to people using the forums. There's a mechanism in there for sending an email to everyone for special announcements. So it's going to be a lot of people are going to know, and hopefully we'll see a lot of people pop their heads into our community forums that we haven't seen in a while, and that'll be exciting. Okay, so now after that, after we get the pro version out, got a few people who are waiting for an alpha version of Run Basic version, and so I'm going to produce that next so that people can kick that around, and we'll see if we can't polish that off over the next couple of months and make a release out of it. There was a lot of work put into that, and it needs to be released. It deserves to be released. That people are like for example, the Ajax features, which means that when you change something on a page, you don't have to reload the whole page every time. Okay, that provides a really much more polished and smooth user interface and professional looking and better because you don't have to reload the whole page. Is access to ODBC databases, so you aren't limited to SQLite. You can use anything that you got before, which is really good. Let's see. Brandon says that his main program will only use about 15 megabytes, but 6 years, 24/7. Wow. You haven't shut it off in 6 years, or is that what you mean? And let's see. Is Dan still in here? Or did he leave? Let's see. Nope. Still there, Dan? Okay. Yeah, and then in the Run Basic forums that people, have been popping up with various questions, and I'm going to review those, of course, and make sure that we get something, some progress with this. Like very recently, somebody was asking about some security issues and things that, I mean, when you ask the web server for certain information, it gives it to you, which I guess is what the web server is supposed to do. But I think the solution to that, my ability to change the default so that the Run Basic can hide the implementation is behind the web server, so that it can be hacked, so that nobody will know that you're running a Run Basic server. Let's see. So I wonder who do we have here now? Let's try. The sound off to see who might be here. Oh, there's Dan. Getting his cup of coffee. All right. Dave's here. Still. We're still running basic apps. Are you interested in testing v2? Yeah. Nice guide for how to set it up behind IIS would be nice. Try that. Let's say Michael wants to know how to set run basic up behind IIS. I don't know if I have the bandwidth to deal with it right now. Experience. Okay, so I said that someone who has IIS experience could contribute. I don't. I'm going to be spending my time working on Run Basic, and so if somebody else who knows IIS could help with the documentation, that would be great. I do have some Apache what I use, and for me to support IIS would be a burden that I'm not sure I'd be able to do right now. Wouldn't be able to take that on. Michael offers to do it. You the man, Michael. Okay. Okay, so Dan wants to know how to get to Alpha 2. First, I have to release Alpha 2. Release Alpha 2. It'll take me a few weeks to do that because I still have to release the Liberty Basic Pro version for 4.5. Okay, so all right. I missed any comments here. Brandon. Everybody's very quiet. There only got 3 people posting comments. Duck Eye. There. Duck Eye. Hi. Duck Eye. Okay. Oh, that means I need to include Apache. Michael asks if we figure this for Apache. I can try. That sounds like a bit much for an alpha release. Maybe, Michael, I can consider that for a actual non-test release. Okay, okay, I can wait a while. Okay, Dan, what is your biggest need in Run Basic? I think a lot of Liberty Basic users might not really even know what Run Basic is, so let me talk about that for a moment. Run Basic is a version of Basic for creating web applications. And it's actually a complete web application platform because it's a web server. You can download this and run it on your computer, and you open your web browser and point it at the Run Basic application server, and then you can write web apps in Basic just like you would write them in Liberty Basic. Or the model is really very similar to the way it would work on a computer back when back when the home computer was in its heyday. It's really easy web programming language. So easy, in fact, that I wrote a white paper about it. I had somebody, another programmer, I had him edit the white paper for me. And then he came back to me months later and said, "Carl, I don't understand why, but when I edited your white paper, I did not understand what you have here." He says, I went back and read it again, and I realize now that your Run Basic development system is the easiest web programming system that I've ever seen, bar none. So there's something about it. People have a hard time understanding what easy is because they're so used to doing it the hard way that when you say, "Oh, I have an easy web programming," say, yeah, I know. Perl and Apache are all easy web programming systems. No, they're not. They're not easy. Run Basic is easy, really easy. And anybody who's programmed in Liberty Basic who wants to do any web programming needs to take a look at it because I think you'll really like it a lot. Okay, so let's see. Dan says he has a system that will not, in order to back up, he needs a database with replication. Okay, that's good. So you'll be able to do that. Michael says that he needs a better way to upload, and the memory limit needs to be upped. Oh, okay, well, the memory limit is not, it's not really a memory limit on Run Basic for that, Michael. There's a in the upload code, really. Well, not in the upload code. The web server that's written in Smalltalk has a bug in it for the upload part, but that's fixed in Run Basic too. So I'm glad that people here really like Run Basic. Thanks, guys. So as I mentioned before, I'm seriously thinking about doing a version of Just Basic based on Liberty Basic version 4.5. And I think I can commit to that because I think it'll be pretty easy to simply strip out some things, change the names and more appropriate places, and that will give the Just Basic community, which is a big community, it's a lot of people in these forums and they post all the time, that'll give them something with fewer bugs and more memory available and all that. And I think that will give us a huge boost. So, but there's a balance that you have to strike between the free version and the pay for version. So I'm going to have to strip some things out of it, but so it will be better than what they have. It will have more features than what they have, and it would be, I think, very encouraging to that community. So, specific timetable. Maybe I can commit to before the end of the year. There'll be a Just Basic version 2. Okay. All right, Michael, I see that. That's good. Michael wants to be able to specify the location for a file upload in Run Basic. I guess you can work around that by copying the file. But yeah, it would be good to specify where you want the files to land. I'm sure that's not hard. We'll see, because the uploading, so I'll have to look at that code. Yeah, the makers. We need to get more involved in the maker community. Is right. Do we have anybody here who actually, is involved in that? Who goes to the meetings, or buys the magazines, or goes to their website? Because I think that there's definitely overlap. You want to, and it's mostly young people, and so involving young people in Liberty Basic, Just Basic, Run Basic, all that, it's a good idea. Okay, so, all right. People seem to like the idea of a new version of Just Basic. It's only fair. I mean, they've been using this old version for a long time, and it didn't get the Vista, Windows 7 compatibility bug fixes that Liberty Basic did, and it needs those at least, right? You need to have that so that they can continue to use it without installing it in a funny place or that sort of thing. Oh, Brandon is going to the Maker Faire. Oh, that is great. In New York City. It's a great idea. Oh, let's see. When does that happen exactly? New York City, maybe I could go to that. Yeah, Arduino stuff, your work and the work of the others in the LB forum. Oh yeah, and that was also included in LB 4.5.0 was your Arduino example. Oh, important. We definitely need that. And is the video choppy right now? Can you hear all the audio? Is that good, or should I turn the video quality down even further? Wow, we could have like a Liberty Basic contingent going to that event, but I'm not. I would have to know when it happens. Yeah, set up a booth. Okay, I'm going to Google Maker Faire New York City right now. Google. What's Google? Maker Faire. Okay, 2015. Okay. Oh, look at that. I might actually be able to do that. September 26th and 27th. All right, well, I'm not going to commit to it right this second, but there's a real possibility that I could go to that. All right, well, more news on that later. I'll have to decide and look. That's pretty cool. There's apparently they have one of these in Boston too, but they go this way, this way. It's my best side, this side. All right, so let's see. Oh, the audio is still choppy. Okay, I'm gonna turn the video quality down now. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. It's gonna. Okay, now I'm gonna look like a cartoon. Do I look like a cartoon? You won't see any wrinkles or blemishes in my face now because it's so smooth, like watching an old CGA or VG color movie. All right. Okay, I guess you can see well enough what my expression is, so that'll work well enough. It's Carl Pixels, yeah, what do you know? Oh, yeah, that's funny. Okay, so we'll have to figure this out so that our next chat session doesn't look like this. This is really bad. Okay. Let's look back and make sure that I haven't missed anybody's comments. Set up a booth. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. So if let's say that we were gonna market Liberty Basic to some group, you know, what are the common interests here, right? So what are our hobbies? Everybody chime in with your hobbies, right? You got people who do programming and people, my hobbies are chess and I like electronics somewhat. I play music, I play guitar, I do different things like that. I like to go camping. I'm involved in my church. I'm in the band at church. I don't know. You tell me, what are your hobbies? Maybe there's some overlapping interest here, right? What if obviously going to the Maker Faire, I think that's an overlapping thing. I think you probably find a lot of people at the Maker Faire who be interested in computers and programming and the like. But what else? Because I always find it really, you know what? You do your market research and you try to figure out who your market is. It's easy. Just do that, and you know you'll be able to sell Liberty Basic to whoever wants it. Robots, yeah, that's good. Home automation. But I always find that the interest is so broad and there's so many different people who use a language like BASIC that it's very hard to pin it down. I can't just like find one magazine and advertise in it and now I've captured the attention of 90% of my market. It doesn't work. So it's tricky. All right, robots and home automation. You know, I like to play guitar. Some people like to use computers to generate music. Okay, so Brandon, we're talking about because we can do the RS-232 thing, right? Is that it? Or, I mean, avionics. I kind of have it working. You have something working with avionics, Dan? And Liberty Basic or Run Basic or something like that? That's cool. Maybe you could describe that. Oh, what happened? What sort of avionics project? The makers will love LB5 when it's... Yes. Yes. Okay. I will own the Linux basic market when LB5 is out. Maybe. And, well, Raspberry Pi would be cool, wouldn't it? Raspberry Pi might even become an option. Can't type. Heard recently that the one I use, the Smalltalk I use, has been made to run on the Raspberry Pi. That would be what? Have it in Run Basic. Have it in Run Basic. What does that mean, Dan? Oh, I have it in Run Basic. Oh, okay. Let's see. You can set up your cockpit to be a server, and people on the ground have the same instrument panel you have in the air. I have a web. You have it in an airplane. Okay. Have it in an airplane. Okay. Run Basic in an airplane. That's cool. All right. Liberty Basic also lets you use DL. Win32 DLLs work fine, but we need to, and we will, when it comes out, it will also allow you to use COM on Windows, at least, which is what most of our target market really is Windows. But and the Linux markets are, I think Linux is probably pretty popular in the maker community, right? Market. It's important to the makers. I'm betting. The avionics system checks your engine, your oil, your gas, and your speed, your altitude. That's pretty cool. Wow. That's neat. See, sometimes people say, well, what do people use Liberty Basic for? And I say, oh my God, everything. I just can't even imagine what people write software for. You know, I mean, that's why I said it's hard to know what your target market is, because, you know, when you say, oh, you know, Java, what do you know, programming language like Java, where's your target market? Well, it's, you know, a language used in businesses and on websites, and I think that it's kind of used by corporations, companies usually to write their software internally. So, okay, you might market your corporate development community, but BASIC has always been the language that people use. Everybody uses it. It's very kind of a very democratic kind of thing. Well, Michael, I think the Liberty Basic that's good about it is that it's so simple. You start it up and it looks like Notepad with some buttons on top of it. That makes it approachable. There's not a lot of complexity there. I know I've used expensive, fancy. I've used expensive, fancy development tools that have me pulling my hair out, trying to figure out how to do the simplest things with them. And so, once you learn the tool, it's great. You can do things, but it's really hard to wrap your brain around it. So you go through this. So I prefer not to clutter Liberty Basic up with stuff like that. For Linux, maybe. You know what? I don't know. Has anybody here seen a good version of BASIC for Linux? There was something called, I think it was called KBasic. Has anyone ever seen KBasic? I think I mentioned that on my last video stream. KBasic, or on a sometime back, a non-video chat session. Check something here on this laptop. Make sure that something funky isn't happening. Oops. Because it seems like it's running slowly. Yeah, Windows is doing a million things. The process is running. I'm just amazed. Oh, that's Windows 8.1 for you guys. Gosh. Guess I should shut some of these things down. Maybe things will be smoother. Sorry. That's weird. What's that? Close that. Okay, sorry about this. Okay, well, maybe that'll be a little better. Oh, gosh. All right. So, all right, I'm back. All right, let's see. Missing people's comments. That's giving me something to talk about. The GUI commands make it easy. Well, I hope so. The Liberty Basic 5 stuff I think is better than what Liberty Basic has been providing for a long time, just because we've added to make calls for the graphics and controlling the widgets using the function call. Because years ago, when I wrote the original support for GUI and graphics, this idea that you could send your commands as a string. And there's some interesting, I think, benefit to that, but I think it's some people find it a little hard to understand why you have to break up the string with variables and semicolons and stuff like that. So I'm happy to see that we are making progress on the syntax of Liberty Basic. I think people will appreciate the change. I'm going to go check on the other website for a second. Look at the Conform site for a moment. I think that I probably needed to promote this chat a little bit more because we're not really getting the same kind of participation this time as we did the last time. Yeah, I need to maybe make a special announcement when we're about to have one of these so that it will, email blast will go out all over the place. Okay. So Brandon, when you say very slowly, what do you mean by that? Run basic. I think that differently because it allowed me just to say, hey, how can it, I was able to make a little bit of a clean break from Liberty Basic, and that ultimately back into Liberty Basic. I think big improvement with my dog barking. Okay. All right. Well, it's after 2 o'clock, and I think I'm going to have to call this to a close. I have actually have some place to be, and so I think we should try to have another one of these relatively soon. And then after we get the pro version out, and so then we can talk about some of these things and the possible attendance at the Maker Faire and things like that. So I'll be eager to look into that and see what I can do. All right. Well, it looks like we're still having problems with the performance of this feed in any case, so maybe we should call it to a close. So I want to thank you guys for coming and chatting with me, and I hope this has been informative and an encouragement to everyone. Looks like there'll be some interesting things to talk about over the next few weeks, and I'll try to post about some of this stuff on the forum, and we can get some conversations going. All right, so thanks a lot. Hope you guys have a great, and we'll do this again sometime before the Maker Faire, maybe mid-September. Okay, thanks a lot.